Hey everyone, welcome. We're back for another bridge vlog. This time we're in another sunny place, London. We're in the middle of or at the end of a heat wave in September. So that train journey was a bit on the warm side, even though we had aircon. So I'm here a day early. We're playing in the Premier League. For those of you who want to know what that's about, that's like a 3-weekend event. Each weekend you play 2-hour-long matches against each team with very short breaks in between. You VP it, and after 3 weekends you see who's in the best. We're in League 2. We got relegated from League 1 last year, so hopefully we're looking to go straight back up. And this weekend we're playing in a team of 5 because Dr. Chris Cooper has had a baby. Him and his wife Sarah had a baby. I'll pop that on the screen for you just to see a lovely picture of baby Nixie. So Cooper's not here this weekend, so I'm effectively the reserve, because playing as a team of 4 all weekend, where you've got a 2-hour match, it's a 2-hour and 10-minute match, then a 20-minute break, then a 2-hour 10-minute match, and a 20-minute break, and you've got 4 of those with no big long break in between on the Saturday. So if you don't get a set off, it can be quite demanding if you're not used to playing that much. So I'm here as a reserve. I'll be playing with Chucker, Fee or Liam. I don't quite know how many matches I'm going to get. I'm absolutely delighted not to play any, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some good hands regardless of what I play. I'm here a day early, and so I'm going to meet my brother. We're going to do a VR escape room and then a regular escape room, and I'll put him on stream so you can see the difference between a generic northern accent and an actual northern accent. He's got a much stronger accent than I have. So yeah, I'm just going to meet him now. I'm kind of waiting to get through the gates. I need to use my phone to get my train ticket to get through the gate. So yeah, we're here a day early. Hopefully we're going to have fun tonight, and then we're going to wake up early, get some coffee and meet the team before we start play tomorrow. We've just done 2 escape rooms. This is my brother. How you doing, Ian?
Hello.
This is Alex.
Hello.
And this is Nathan.
Hiya.
First time I met Nathan. Alex is my brother's girlfriend, and we've just done 2 escape rooms. We've done a VR room, which is an escape VR thing, which I've never done a VR thing before. That was really fun. But we then had a 10-minute taster of shooting some zombies, and that was much more fun. So I think if I was to do that again, I would use VR to fight bad guys. And then we did an actual escape room where we landed on an island of giant cats, and they put us through some hoops to try and earn our freedom before they killed us. And there were some clues that were like, really, whatever. But one I've never seen them do in an escape room is we had to smell corks and work out which fragrances the Cat King liked the most. Oh my God, was that hard. My sense of smell isn't the best. Ian's sense of smell isn't the best. Once I've sniffed 3 different corks, my sense of smell had gone. I was just smelling lavender for the whole thing. We were relying on Alex and Nathan there. That was a weird thing. What was your favourite clue, Ian?
The smells.
Smells?
No, the toughest. I don't know. Remind me of another one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was a really good one as well. So there were a couple where we had to radio in for him to check our answers, which I didn't really like. But other than that, it was really fun.
I liked where you had to keep the animals away from their dinner.
It was like a bit of a logic problem where you had to put animals in a boat so that they couldn't eat each other and eat their food and stuff like that. So it was really fun. Do you have a favourite one, Alex?
I like the last one, where we
last
had
one?
to match the numbers to the numbers in the picture.
Yeah. So we had one at the end as well. So it was really good. I had a really good time. We're going home now, going to the hotel. Maybe have a drink before we go, and then ready for bridge tomorrow. So yeah, thanks so much. So it's Saturday morning, and we all know that when you agree to make your team at 9:15, that doesn't mean 9:15. So I'm here, no one's here. So waiting for people to rock up. I know Chucker's running late. Fee's meant to be here at 9:15, and I don't know when the others are getting here. But I've got my morning coffee. I'm sat at the first match. The first match we're playing John Sansom's team. So it's Paul Hackett, John Sansom, Dave Derridge and Cross. So yeah, we've played them a fair bit over the last few years in the Premier League and various bits and bobs. So yeah, they're often quite swingy matches. So hopefully the team does well. I'm going to spend the first 2 hours set out learning system. I've been told it was a simple system. Yeah, I think there's a bit more to it than simple system. There's a lot of transfers over a club and different meanings when we open a club, because effectively all our balanced hands go through one club, and it could be a 2-card suit sort of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time doing that. I was hoping Chuck would arrive a bit early and just go through a few things with me rather than me just learning it by myself. But yeah, so we're waiting for them to arrive. When they arrive, I'll introduce you to the team, and then we'll wander to the venue. It's at the Young Chelsea in London this weekend, and the event's spread over 3 weekends, and each weekend you're at a different venue around the country. So yeah, so Young Chelsea this week, and we've got 7 matches starting with Paul Hackett's team. They're here. They're late, but they're here. We have Fiona Brown and James Stower. He's the sort of organised person on our team, and Fee is the smiley person. How you doing, Fee?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, good.
Good to be here.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Nice to be in London.
Yeah, so I'm basically playing the whole weekend with these two. I'll be playing with them half and half when I do sit in. So I'm going to spend the time learning their system, so they don't have to remember anything extra. So we're just going to have a coffee and a chat, and then we're going to wander to the venue. So nice of you to meet the team, and we will get back to you soon. So we're in the Young Chelsea now, and this is the room we'd normally play in, but they've got a chess competition. So the Young Chelsea does chess and backgammon and other things as well. They've got a chess competition against Ostend Bridge Club, like a bridge club in Belgium, a royal bridge club. So they've got like 16 tables or so of chess, and obviously they're going to have a tournament here all day. So this is where we were last year, so we're going to wander through. This is kind of like the bar area in the Young Chelsea. People shouting loudly in bridge stuff. So this is where I'm going to sit in the first set, and I can look at the running scores on that screen there for each of the divisions. So we're going to have a wander up and have a look at the playing area, which I believe is up these stairs here. Premier League upstairs. I've not been upstairs before, so we're going to have a wander. Following this man upstairs, he's got his banana. It's a 2-story thing. It's a new building, or newish building, like last 3 or 4 years or so. And we're playing behind screens today, so there's going to be 8 sets of screens in these rooms. There's one room there. Hello. There's one room there. So that might be, if there's any view graph, which I imagine there isn't in the second division. And then we've got another sets of screens and a little private room there. So this looks nice and cool. I hope it doesn't get too warm in here today. It feels a bit breezy and the aircon's on. And there's Gordon, Chief TD. Hi, Gordon. Hi. Yeah, we'll say hi to him later, I'm sure. Very good directors, Gordon. And yeah, and there's the big man coming upstairs. We haven't seen our teammates yet. They will be here. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got a Liam. Hi, Liam.
We have 4 of us.
So this is Liam Sanderson. Hi, Liam. How are you doing? You made the vlog? Good stuff. So yeah, we're just waiting for our team leader, Ali. Not here today, or not here yet anyway. So yeah, and once these guys get started, I'll get started on learning some system. So after one match, I'm sat out again, which is absolutely fine. I'm here as a reserve this week. Teammates won by 12 imps, which is about a 13-7. It's all factional VPs. It's about a 13-7 win, and it was a fairly flat set in our match. Some of the other matches generated a lot more imps. And so anyway, there's a couple of interesting hands that I was told. So obviously I'm doing this second hand because I didn't play the hand myself. What would you open this hand? So everyone's vulnerable, and it goes pass on your right, and you pick up the following hand. I think you've got void, ace 10 8 to 7, singleton ace queen to 5, and you've got to open, no question. So, and there are 2 choices. I don't think 2 hearts or 3 hearts are in the question. So your choices: are you going to open 1 heart, or you're going to open 4 hearts? And I think it's potentially a style thing about what your partner might expect for 4 hearts or something like that. But for me, I think it's a 1 heart opener. I think if you open 4 hearts, you're almost inviting them to bid 4 spades, and if your partner doesn't double this, you're almost forced to bid 5 clubs, and so you're effectively forcing your hand to the 5 level a lot of the time. And the other downside about opening 4 hearts is you might have 6 clubs on. Partner might have a stiff heart and a 15 count with king to 4 clubs, and 6 clubs is just golden. And he doesn't, they don't even need that much to make 6 clubs. So I think because you're vulnerable and they're vulnerable too or something like that, it might just be safer to see if you can find a fit, and then or they might not be as reticent to bid 4 spades when they would if you open 4 hearts. So anyway, so Fee open this 1 heart, and I'll put the whole hand on the screen for you now. Fee opened a heart, the next turn over called 1 spade. Chucker has effectively a natural 2N bid, but that would show a heart raise in their system, so he has to double. He has to do something with his hand, so he has to double, so he's kind of forced to just double as a takeout double. Obviously he's going to correct 3 of a minor to 3N or something like that. And the next one jumps to 3 spades, back to Fee. So because double doesn't necessarily need to be the minors, it could be this sort of like 10 to 12 point balanced hand or something like that. Fee's got a decision. Like, she could bid 4 clubs. That might not necessarily be forcing. She could bid 5 clubs. It's a kind of bit committal if partner hasn't got 4 clubs. But let's imagine partner's got the king of clubs to 3 or 4 and the stiff heart. Well, 4 hearts is probably still there. And the problem is when partner's only got 3 clubs, which they might have some of the time, they're going to go spade at trick 1, you're going to ruff. You might need, it's going to be difficult to set the hearts up or something like that. But 4 hearts should still have some play. And obviously when partner puts down a doubleton heart or something, it's going to be gravy. That's where you want to play. So I think aspirations of slam aren't necessarily there. Potentially if partner makes a move over 4 hearts, you might offer 6 clubs or something like that. And so Fee bid 4 hearts, and he goes pass, 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 and she made it. And if you look at the results on all the other tables, there were people in 5 and 6 clubs doubled going off, there were people in 6 hearts going off, sometimes doubled, sometimes not. There were very few pairs actually making a plus with the north-south cards on this board. So 2 judgment calls, when to open 1 or 4, and what to bid on the second round were made. Well done. And we scored 10 imps or 12 imps or something on this board. So there's another hand from the first set where you pick up. I've got to be quiet because there's people playing chess down the corridor. Where you're north and you pick up 2 low, 3 to the 10. Jack to 3, ace, queen, jack to 5. So that's your hand, and it goes 2 diamonds weak on your right. I believe everyone's vulnerable, so 2 diamonds weak on your right. So it's a vulnerable 2 diamonds. You pass. The next one passes, and your partner bids 4 diamonds, which is Michael's, extreme Michael's, so game forcing Michael's. Pass. So you bid your better mage. You bid 4 hearts, and you end up playing it in 4 hearts. It goes pass, pass, pass. So you're playing 4 hearts on the ace of diamonds lead, and dummy goes down with what you can see. Dummy's got a really good hand. Ace, queen to 5 spades. Ace, king to 6 hearts, including the 9, so you're just missing the queen and the jack. And king x of diamonds. Now the ace of diamonds lead is a boon. Obviously, ace, queen of diamonds offside would make this a bit of a trickier hand. So the ace of diamonds lead is a boon, and the ace of diamonds lead, it goes small, 10 small. So the 10 in this particular case is probably suit preference, and they switch to a spade at trick 2, a small spade of some sort. So what are your thoughts? So obviously it depends how trumps break, it depends where the king of spades is, but if things lie well, you can make quite a few tricks, but you're playing teams, so you've got to think about things lying poorly. And it's one of these situations where certain players will always signal for a spade here because they don't want a club. Maybe they've not got the king of clubs, or they don't want partner to switch away from a club on or something like that. So regardless of where the king of spades is, they might not always switch to they're probably going to signal for a spade more often than a club. And your left-hand opponent is probably going to switch to a spade most of the time anyway. But and it's one of these hands, like, do you take the spade finesse? Do you trust their signalling? Because obviously when they haven't got the king of spades, they're always going to switch to a spade, and when they have got the king of spades over dummy, they're always going to signal for spade. So maybe the fact that they've switched and signalled indicates that the king of spades is offside, and maybe you can play ace and duck 1 playing for king doubleton, because they're unlikely to have length here. And the problem is you're struggling to get off dummy. One of the advantages in playing the ace of spades is you might be able to draw trumps in 2 rounds. But obviously if trumps are 3-1 and spades aren't breaking, you're in trouble here. You might not ever get to your hand potentially when you do, if you win the ace of spades and play ace, king of hearts and they don't break, and when you duck a spade they can draw another trump and spades aren't breaking either, so you're in trouble. I think it's a bit about reading the hand, and one of the situations is, now it's hard because I know the whole hand, I know what happens, but they don't have to signal for spades. They can just say, play a middle diamond. They might want another diamond because look at dummy. You can't get off dummy. There might be a very good reason that why would you switch to a spade when, if they have the king, if the king is onside, they could just play a diamond back and you're stuck in dummy, potentially. So, to give you a free spade finesse and to signal for a spade when you haven't got the king and things like that, I don't know. Is it right to play the ace of spades? Is it not? I don't know. Anyway, what actually happened was the stiff king of spades is offside. So Chucker played the queen of spades. I don't think it's clearly wrong. It might be right to play the ace of spades. It's one of those, it's very hard to see because I've got the hindsight of seeing the whole hand. But obviously the queen of spades loses to the king. They ruff a diamond because diamonds are 7-1, and they ruff a spade and beat you. So you might think, oh, it's only wrong in this specific case, but it might be wrong anywhere when it's king X and hearts aren't breaking or something like that, when it's king X of spades on side and diamonds are 7-1, or you don't quite know. Anyway, in this situation, if you trust their defensive signals and trust that they wouldn't lead a spade away from the king there to give you a free finesse when they could just stick you in dummy to play away from your honours, it might be right to play the ace. And what you're doing is you're playing for stiff king or king X or something. So you're playing the ace of spades. You're trying to stop any ruffs. If hearts are 2-2, you're probably absolutely fine here. But when they're 3-1 and the king of spades on side, it's one of those hands. Anyway, teammates at the table rescued the situation. They were defending 4 hearts, but they were defending the other way round. And they led the king of spades, not unreasonably, depending on what the bidding had gone. I didn't quite know what the bidding was. I think the hand with 7 diamonds has shown diamonds. So they led the king of spades. They've already solved the spade guess, and so, oh no. But they're in a similar situation. How did they get off dummy? How did they get off dummy after drawing 2 rounds of trumps? They could play a 3rd round of trumps, but then they're just in dire straits. So potentially they did something very weird. Well, to say very weird, looks very weird when you can see the whole hand. They exited with the king of diamonds, hoping that their left-hand opponent had the stiff queen, and because the hand had shown diamonds, so it's not unrealistic to play the king of diamonds. If ace queen are offside, whatever. But when you play the king of diamonds into the stiff ace and have to lose the queen as well as a heart trick as well, you're also on off because you don't have enough discards to get rid of all these spades. So lucky that we beat it at beat it at the other table. I don't know whether it's right to play ace of spades, but it would be the winning action in this case. So after 2 matches, we are doing well. I believe we're leading. Teammates, all 4 of them had an absolutely astounding card. They won 69-2. They lost 2 umps on the first board of the set, and then they just went bang, bam, 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 bam. So really good, really consistent. I asked them what the success was. They have one really good hand I'm about to show you. We'll have to do it in more detail because it's a bit complicated towards the end. But they're just saying they're stopping at the right level. Teammates are just not over competing to game, not going for negatives, making the extra over trick here and there. So doing really well. I'm about to show you 4 hearts double that Fee played, and I'll pass you over to Steve, who's at his computer. So this is a hand Fee played. Fee was the south hand, and the auction proceeds as follows. So their partner North opened a diamond, East passed, she bid 1 heart now. For various reasons you don't want to be preempting here because you've got both majors, but if you play weak jump shift, which is one of the things that will matter on the hand, a 2 heart bid here would show like a weak hand of like 4-7 or 5-8 points with 6 card suit. And you're a bit too good for that. So West bid a spade, your partner North bids 2 clubs, and it comes back to you. Now obviously you don't really want to show preference clubs. You do have 6 hearts. The 1 spade overcall isn't that great for you. But you bid 2 hearts, which shows like a constructive, like 8-11, 9-11 hand with 6 hearts. And your partner bids 4 hearts, jumps to 4, doesn't invite, and then East doubles. And there ends the auction. So you're playing 4 hearts doubled, everyone's vulnerable, and they lead the king of spades. And now we have to decide what to do. So if we count our tricks, we don't have many. We're going to make the ace of spades, the ace of diamonds, probably 1 club, that's 3, and even if we make all 6 hearts in our hand, which is very unlikely, that only gets us to 9. So we're in a lot of trouble here. So what can we do to potentially do it? Well, almost certainly you won't be able to ruff spades and dummy. East will be over roughing the first or the second spade. You might be able to get one rough in, but you're probably not going to get two. And East probably has 4 or 5 hearts. And if they've got 5 hearts, there's not much you can do. So you've got to play on the assumption that East has 4 hearts and short spades, and we have need to look for another way of doing it. So what Fee decided to do was to play on clubs. And if West has the ace of clubs, we can lead up twice towards the king and queen, potentially get some spade discards, and maybe rough a spade. If East over roughs, they might be roughing with a natural trump trick or something like that. So that's what Fee decided to do. So she won the ace of spades and the 10 of spades. It could be the top of a doubleton if they play regular count, or it could be a singleton. West could have 6 spades and not have preempted. So we did that. And then Fee, what Fee needs to do is get to her hand. So she roughed a diamond to get to her hand. And East played the jack, so East might have king, queen of diamonds as well, or just queen, jack of diamonds, or something like that. Now, the more values East has outside of clubs, the more likely the ace of clubs is onside. So the jack of diamonds is actually not a bad thing. If that shows king, queen, jack, then maybe the ace of clubs is onside. So Fee played a club towards the king, and that lost to the ace. Okay, so now we're in trouble. What do we do now? So what East did at trick 4 was play the queen of hearts. Now that's indicative of queen jack 10x of hearts, or queen jack 10 tight, or something like that. So the queen of hearts, so we take that. We obviously want to try and rough a spade with a 9 at some point, just to force East to over rough, and then we might be able to make more of our small hearts. And the 8 of hearts appears. So the 8 of hearts is good. So we can pretty much, from this position, work out that East's hearts were queen jack 10 6 initially. But we're still in trouble. So what we need to do now is we need a lot of help. We need a very specific lie of the cards, and one of the things we need is clubs to be breaking, because there's no way we're going to make this unless we can sort of set up dummies clubs with maybe the ace of diamonds as some sort of late entry, assuming they have to give us that entry. So Fee played a club to the queen, which holds, and they played a club and roughed, and West followed. So clubs are 3-3. So dummy has lots of winners now. Dummy has the ace of diamonds and 2 winning clubs. So what to do now? We're still in trouble, but what we can now do is, if East has 2 spades, we can rough out East's spade. So if East has like 10x of spades or something at trick 1, we can rough out East's spade, and then East's only exit cards will be diamonds. And we're now actually in a much better position. So we play a spade, we rough, and East over rough. So now we know pretty much the whole hand. We know East's exact shape, almost certainly on the basis they've got 4 hearts. East had 1 spade, 4 hearts, and 3 clubs, which means they had 5 diamonds. So when East exits with the 6 of hearts, giving us a heart trick. Remember, they've got if we just go back, they've roughed with a jack. They still have the 10 of hearts left. They've played the 6 of hearts from 10-6 doubleton. What we can do now, rather than taking the free finesse, we can play the 7 of hearts. They've given us a heart trick. But if we win that, we can't get to dummy. So what Fee managed to do now is she won the king of hearts and exits with a low heart to East's 10. Now, if we've counted the hand right, East should have 4 diamonds left. And we'll have to play a diamond, and then we can claim. So king of diamonds, we can claim. King of diamonds goes to the ace, throwing a spade. We now play 2 winning clubs, throwing 2 more spades, and we win the last trick with our 7 of hearts for making 790 for 4 hearts double. So very well played. There is a defence to beat it, but if we go back to this point, where we have a look at the whole hand, we go to this point next. If East discards here, at some point you just start playing winning clubs, and then East has to rough in, and then at some point you can over rough and play a heart back or something like that, and East is in the same boat. So what East could do is rough and play, instead of playing a heart, we could play a diamond, so maybe they can exit with a small diamond. And what you have to do now, you have to be very careful. You have to rough this with the 7 of hearts, so that you can exit with king of hearts and a small heart. And if you rough with the 5 of hearts, East can beat you by discarding the 10 of hearts on the king and playing the 6 under your 7 and so on. So it's just a really lovely hand when we get to that point.
East can't beat it at the point where you rough the spade and dummy. There is a point you can beat it. If we go back to the start of the hand, there is a point you can beat it. I don't know. I'll rewind. I can't seem to rewind the whole thing. When you play a club to the king, you just have to duck the ace. I think it's findable, but then you take away the entry to rough the club. If they continue with the second club now, you can win the ace and exit, and now they can't rough the club squad. You're one entry short. The queen of clubs being an entry to rough the club allowed Fee to make this, but it was a really nice end position, so well done.
Alright, we've just finished the last match, and there's our teammates. Chucker looks well rested,
Hello, yeah.
and our
I'm
lovely
very
Fee.
tired after my sitting.
Lovely Fee played really well in a set we had. There weren't so many exciting boards. We are 1 imp down with 3 boards to score, but the 3 boards to score are decent for us. So my guess is we've won it small, hopefully. Fingers crossed, see what teammates have done. So there were a couple of hands, so we'll just go through. Both of them had an interesting bid and then an interesting play. So I'll give you Fee's hand on this board. This is a board they're about to play at the other table, and you pick up stiff ace, stiff, ace 10 9 to 5, ace king 10 to 6. Really good hand, and the vulnerability is love all, and on your right they open 1 heart in first seed. So choice 1, there is some play to this hand, but choice 1, what on earth are you bidding here? So you could bid 2 clubs and double later, you could double first, you could bid 2N and force the game, or you can make like the practical bid, the working man's bid, and bid 4N, which is what Fee decided to do. I don't know what I'd have done in the same seat. 4N's a pretty good guess. I mean, you don't really want to play in 4 spades if partner has 6, do you? And you want to play in game with this hand. It's really good. And I think 4N describes your hand really well. If partner's got like a fit for one of the minors and the ace of hearts, they might bid 6. So you bid 4N, and partner, I'll show you partner's hand now. Partner decides to bid 5 diamonds. Partner's got some points and some shape and diamond support and club support, but they've got no aces, so I don't think you really want to be bidding 6 in this hand. So you bid 5 diamonds and goes pass, pass, pass. So you're playing it from the north hand in 5 diamonds, and they lead the ace of hearts. It goes small, 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 and they switch to the jack of clubs. What do you do? So you are missing the king, queen of diamonds, and it looks like they're threatening a club ruff. So what do you do? Now the person who's opened a heart opens light a lot, as in they'll open 9 and 10 counts with 6-4 at the 1 level sometimes. So there's no guarantee they have both diamond honours. And obviously, if you take a first round dime finesse and lose to a stiff honour, and they give their partner a ruff, you've gone off. So I think it all boils down to: do you play for king, queen of diamonds on side, or do you play for diamonds to break? And when diamonds are breaking, what you're doing, you're playing for any 2-2 split or any honour singleton offside. Now, honour singleton onside doesn't help you because they're going to get a club ruff probably. And if it's on a singleton onside and clubs are 2-2, it doesn't matter. So your choices are king, queen of diamonds onside, or diamonds to break somehow. So they feel evenly likely, but the hand on leads led the ace of hearts, and you've got the king. So what are they doing? Why are they leading the ace of hearts in this auction? Maybe it's right to lead an ace, but maybe they think they've got 2 trump tricks. And at trick 2, another indication might be that they haven't necessarily got a singleton club. They're just trying to panic you into playing for the diamond drop. So I decided to take the finesse, rightly or wrongly. I won the club switch with the queen of clubs, and I played the 8 of diamonds just in case diamonds are 4-0, which is a possibility. Now, they didn't think of doubling 5 diamonds, which they might do with an ace and king, queen to 4 diamonds. And they played small smoothly, but I sort of already decided to run it. I ran it, and it held. The 7 of diamonds appears on my right, so I can now just concede a diamond and claim 11. So that's the board our teammates are doing. You know, there's a chance they get to 6 diamonds. There's a chance they've gone off, and Chuck is going to tell me 4 hearts doubled off 2. So we concede 300 at the other table. We've gained 400. That's 3 imps in. I think we're 2 imps up with 2 boards to play. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we win this match. So there was another board in that set. Still waiting for 2 boards to come in. I'm just going to film in the corridor because it's getting a bit loud in there. You pick up. What was your hand? You've got 3 spades to the Queen Jack, Jack 9, 8 to 6 hearts, Ace Queen X of diamonds, and a stiff club. So you've got 10 points, and everyone's vulnerable. I think is everyone vulnerable? I'll just double check. Yeah, everyone's vulnerable, and on your left they open 1 no chomp, which is 15-17. Okay, goes pass, and if it goes pass on my right, I'm probably going to bid some single-suited major hand. But on my right hand side, my right, they bid 2N, which is a transfer to diamonds. I haven't got a bid over that, so I passed, and this goes 3 diamonds on my left, pass to me. So I asked what 3 diamonds was. So the transfer to diamonds, and often people play that completing shows a fit. So that here. He said 3 diamonds is I like diamonds, and systemically I asked what sort of hands would you like diamonds with, and they said honour to 3. So on my left it looks like there's king to 3 diamonds probably, which isn't great for my hand, but if on my left there's 3 diamonds and on my right there's 6 diamonds, partner's only got 1, and it's one of these hands where if you know partner's short in a suit, you know they're likely to have a smattering of cards in all the other suits. So they're going to have heart support here. And there is a chance that we've still got 4 hearts on if partner's got the right hand. So if partner's got, for example, ace to 4 hearts, a singleton diamond and a fitting spade on her, we might make 4 hearts. So because we're vulnerable and because we might still have 4 hearts on, I think it's right to back in with 3 hearts here. You've only got 10 points. You could get doubled, you could go for 500, it could be dangerous. But the other thing is, they might bid to 4 diamonds and that might go off. So I think there are a lot of pluses here. They're obviously risky, bidding with a 10 count vulnerable with a strong no chump on your left. But when they've got a diamond fit, it probably means they haven't got hearts stacked over you, fingers crossed. So you bid 3 hearts. And this went pass, pass, pass. And when dummy goes down, just look at partner's hand that they found a pass with. So I think this is it's a decision that's worked very well. I think there is a danger here that you could have missed 4 hearts, but the key from partner's point of view is I've protected. I didn't bid 3 hearts over 2N, so I've protected, and partner's got 2 diamonds. So from partner's point of view, the diamond suit's really poor. It doesn't feel like, from my point of view, when I bid 3 hearts, I think we've got no diamond losers, and from partner's point of view, she thinks we've got 2 diamond losers. So partner decided to pass 3 hearts, which, if you look at how the defence started, it went ace of spades, king of spades, spade ruff. So obviously partner's made a great decision not to bid game. So that was well done, partner. But now I still have to make this. So I've lost 3 spades. They switched to a diamond when it goes ace of spades, king of spades, spade ruff. They switched to a diamond through me. I know the king of diamonds is offside. I don't really want to take the finesse now. I can take the finesse. There's no diamond ruff, and if they try and play another spade, it could be bad if they ruff with a singleton queen of hearts or something. So I can't take the diamond finesse. So I play the ace of diamonds, and now I need to decide how to play the hearts. What would you do? They've already had their spade ruff. What would you do in the heart suit? So you sit and count the points, and the hand on your right. You're missing 17 points total. The hand on your right is showing up with nothing. They've got no honours in diamonds. They do have room for 1 queen, or if he's opened on a 14 count, the king. So they could have the queen of clubs, the king of clubs, maybe, or the queen of hearts. So they could still have room for this. So what would you do? So I played the jack of hearts, and what I'm playing for is I need 2 heart finesses if my left-hand opponent has queen 10x. So I played the jack of hearts, and they played small, and now I've got a decision. Do I run it, or do I play for hearts to initially have been 2-2? But I'd already decided, once I play the jack, I'd already decided he's got the queen, because one of the reasons is he's accepted diamonds, and for him to accept diamonds, if he was, for example, 4-2-2-5, which is the hand I'm playing for if I play for hearts to be breaking, I don't think they would accept diamonds with that. I think usually you bid 3 clubs on the hope that partner's got both minors and you get to play in clubs, not diamonds. So when the hand on my left is accepted with king X, I don't think they ever have this 4-2-2-5 hand. So I played for them to have 3 hearts, the queen 10, and so I played the jack of hearts, small. I played small in dummy, and my right-hand opponent showed out. My right-hand opponent was initially 2-1-6-4. And my Jack of Hearts held and it ran, and at the end I just said, "You're really good at ducking more smoothly," and he went, "Yeah, thank you, but I'm really annoyed that you've got them both right." So I obviously got the 5 diamonds right, and I got the 3 hearts right. I ran the Jack, and don't lose a heart trick, I just lose the King of Diamonds at the end to make just. So well judged partner for passing 3 hearts, and well judged Steve, I guess, for managing to run the Jack and picking up this poor break. So again, still waiting for the scores. I think we've won 2 matches. We got a 20-0. We got a small loss against the current leaders, and it looks like I think we've won this match. We're 2 imps up with 2 boards to play, so it's going to be a narrow win for this match. So we won 3 out of 4 on the first day, which feels pretty good. We'll be back tomorrow, going out for a nice Thai meal, or at least my friends tell me it's nice. I'm going to grumble and eat some non-spicy food, and then we'll be back for tomorrow after a nice walk. Fee and I need to get our steps in, so we'll see you for day 2 of the Premier League.